You know how most people deal with trauma? Like they're holding a beach ball underwater. Sure, they can keep it down for a while, but their arms get tired. The ball's still there. And when it pops up, it's going to smack them in the face hard. And then they wonder why life keeps randomly blindsiding them. What we're doing here is the opposite. We're not holding the damn beach ball down. We're pulling it up, looking at it. Maybe even tossing it around, letting the water ripple until it's done moving. The big truth, the universe doesn't give a fuck about your comfort zone. Nature's rule is simple. Energy must move. In physics, blocked energy creates pressure. In traditional Chinese medicine, blocked qi creates illness. In psychology, blocked emotion creates neurosis. If you stop the process midstream, it's like hitting pause on a blender full of fruit halfway through. It's still lumpy, still messy, and the motor's still buzzing. So the rule is, let the cycle finish. Not just because it's healthier, but because unfinished business is like emotional debt. It compounds over time. You think you're coping, but really, you're paying interest with your joy, your relationships, your courage. So chunk down to the details. You already do this without noticing. Ever had a laugh so hard it turned into tears, then back into laughter? Then you sighed and felt done. That's completion. Ever shaken in fear before a big presentation? Stepped into it and halfway through thought, oh, I'm fine now. That's completion. Ever vomited when you were sick? Hated every second of it, but after felt relief. That's completion. The skill is noticing the moment that you'd normally clamp down and say, nope, we're finishing this ride. You think the fear will drown you, but fear is like a wave. If you dive under it, instead of running, it passes over you in seconds. You think rage will destroy you, but rage is like lightning, intense, brilliant, dangerous if blocked, but harmless once it hits the ground. You think grief will never end, but grief is like rain. It feels endless until the clouds run out of water. What's dangerous isn't the wave, the lightning, the rain. It's building a dam and holding it in. That's how floods happen. Neuroscience says emotions are chemical storms that peak and pass in about 90 seconds, unless you keep re-triggering them with thought loops. The amygdala calms faster when you fully experience an emotion rather than suppressing it. Mirror neurons mean if you're grounded, calm and stable, other person's nervous systems can sync to yours. Karma says avoid the lesson, and life will bring it back louder and messier until you face it. Pass the test once, and you'll never have to take it again. Your life says every time you've faced something fully, you come out bigger, freer, and more alive. Every time you've avoided it, it came back later, uglier. You value strength, but strength isn't stiff, it's adaptable. You value freedom, and freedom means you're not a slave to avoiding certain things. You value truth, and truth isn't always polite. Sometimes it's raw, sweaty, loud, and ugly before it's beautiful. So if you really believe in strength, freedom, truth, you finish what your nervous system starts. You stop trying to slam the brakes the moment the roller coaster tips down. You let the track carry you through drop. Because the only way out is true. If you don't, you keep circling the same emotional cul-de-sac for decades. Your body keeps the score. Tension, illness, burnout. You live small, tiptoeing around your own internal landmines. If you do, you're unshakable, not because life is easy, because you've trained in the storm. People trust you, because you can stand with them in their fire without flinching. You feel light, because nothing is left half felt, half done. From now on, you're the one who lets the storm finish, then walks out into the sunlight without dragging clouds behind you. You're the one who can sit in the middle of the fire and know you're not the one burning. You're the one who looks fear, grief, or rage in the eye and says, "Come on then, let's get over this." Because you know the faster you let it peak, the faster it's done. And when you're done, you're free. And when you're free, nothing owns you. The problem isn't the feeling. It's not letting the feeling finish. Finishing the emotion is the doorway to the peace you've been chasing. If your highest value is freedom, then suppression is self-betrayal. Avoidance costs years. Completion costs minutes. Which is the better deal? A song sounds wrong if you cut it halfway. Life's emotions are the same. Let them play to the end. In my world, intensity is the proof you're alive. The absence of it isn't peace, it's numbness.